Travel isn't just about destinations, it's about the people you meet, the cultures you immerse yourself in, the stories you carry home. I'm Relebogile Mabocha, and on my travel feature, I take you on a journey beyond the guidebook. Each week, I connect with fellow travelers, insiders, and storytellers to bring you the heart of every place. Whether it's a hidden gem right here in South Africa or a dream destination abroad. Join me as we travel through conversations, memories, and inspiration. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
We're not doing any air travel today. We are just taking a shortish hop, skip and a jump over to the Franschhoek Valley, one of my most favourite parts of the Western Cape. It is just such a special place, so beautiful, and every time I drive into that valley I think, why don't I come and visit more often? Of course, looking forward to being there again in May for the Literary Festival, but there's so many other wonderful reasons to go and visit the Franschhoek Valley, and we're going to share one of them with you today, because one of the valley's oldest wine estates has undergone a real transformation and has just relaunched with a new look and new visitor experiences in time for the 2025 season. I'm talking about Motte Wine Estate. We have spoken before about their amazing bakery on site, but I wonder if you're aware of the fact that there have been quite a few changes brewing at this spot, and that they reopened last month with a new tasting room, a family-friendly restaurant, a refreshed farm shop, as well as a very interesting sounding creative hub, which is going to showcase the work of local artisans. So a whole lot of new reasons to visit Motte, whether for the first time or a repeat visit. And to tell us more about what has happened at this historic estate, it's a pleasure to have with us on Zoom from the UK, actually, the CEO of Motte Wine Estate, Hein Koegelenberg. Hein, thank you for joining us today and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pippa. It's wonderful to talk to you and your listeners, and welcome to Franschhoek.
Thank you. And can I say, the bread that I picked up at the Motte Bakery the last time I was there was absolutely out of this world. So it's going to be on my radar every time I visit from here on in. But let me not get ahead of myself. Hein, before we talk about what's there today, let's talk about the story of Motte and its history, because it dates back hundreds of years, doesn't it?
Yes, Dr. Rupert bought the farm in the 70s, and then in 1985, finally, his daughter had the first vintage with Jacques Boerman at Motte, and then we married in 98. And then we changed the whole scene from the old Bergkelder system into a historic wine distribution system, but also changing the wine farm to be more farm friendly and consumer friendly. Mm-hmm. And so that was the first phase. And as you can recall, maybe in the 2010-11, Motte, the restaurant, the Pyrenees restaurant with Chris Erasmus, we were in the top 10, and it was fine dining, and that period was a very, very interesting period for tourism for us. Yep. In Franschhoek. People from all over the world coming to visit us then.
That's 15 years ago, though, and quite a lot has changed since then, Hein, including, as you said, the approach towards a more sort of family-friendly experience. Although you certainly do have the space for fine dining, you've also expanded to include a much more relaxed concept. So we're going to talk about both of those. Shall we start? While we're talking fine dining, let's start there. I think a lot of South Africans are familiar with the fact that Jan has opened a venue on your farm in Franschhoek, and in fact, you heading into your third season of that, aren't you?
Yes, no, it's all started when Hanley's children, Paul and Berdine, wanted to be much more involved at Motte, and obviously they said it can't be only fine dining, and we have to do a much bigger offering at Motte, and it must be more family friendly, and we had to change the whole experience scene that we had back then. And you're talking about 15 years ago. So just after COVID, we sat down and obviously we went through the whole experience. What do we want at Motte, and what is the passion of the family, and what will the family like to show to customers or people visiting Motte? And yes, the first one was Jan and fine dining, and we made Jan is working with Lamat now for 3 years. He's the third season, and yes, he's heavily involved there on a monthly basis. Myself and Jan will see all the comments of everybody that is experiencing the food there on a daily basis. So yes, he is involved. You will not know when he is there, but sometimes he will. Obviously, Jan is in Nice, but he's also all around the world traveling. And then Franschhoek is one of his places that he liked to visit. And yes, we started that, as you said, now 3 seasons ago, and this one is really successful. It's fully booked, so if people want to come and experience the Jan experience, they have to book. I think we open the booking 2 months ahead, and please put your name down and come and experience Jan at Franschhoek or Jan at Vierpos in Franschhoek.
Okay, so 2 months advance notice required, but boy, you're going to get a memorable dining experience in the most beautiful historic cottage set among the lavender fields, and a fine dining experience of note, compliments of Michelin-starred chef Jan-Hendrik van der Westhuizen. For us mere mortals, though, who want to come and enjoy a day out in the countryside with our family, kids young and old, let's talk about the family dining experience that you have brought to Lamotte.
Yeah, and then the second one was obviously bread, and bread is so part of the history of South Africa, but also food and wine, bread and wine, and then we know Marcus Fabbinger from Ildepen in Knysna, and obviously he's a 7-generation baker family, and we had a long discussion with him, and he said he want to start a place to make bread healthy again, and I said to him, okay, Lamotte must be the perfect place to start that philosophy. And we started that journey probably a year and a half ago with the bakery that we opened with the help of Marcus. And yes, as you said, you also like the bread. There's plenty of people that experience now the quality of the bread that we do. And we work on the philosophy of making bread healthy again. And Marcus is the number one person in the world, I think, that can help us to achieve that.
That bakery is just out of this world. It's sourdough like you've never tasted sourdough before, for one thing. So if you are somebody who still enjoys some bread and lovely pastries, do not miss the opportunity to swing by the Artisanal Bakery and Garden Cafe to check it out the next time you're in Franschhoek. You've also then got the restaurant called L'Ami Family Brasserie. Tell us about what happens there, Hein?
Yes, the old Pyreneeën restaurant, we wanted to change it and make it much more family friendly. And yes, we involved Jacques Erasmus in Cape Town to help us working with the concept of l'ami, friend in French. Yes. And obviously we are in Franschhoek with the French Huguenot arriving here many years ago, and come and experience and l'ami is rich flavors of France and South Africa on the menu, and obviously it's farm sourcing ingredients and artillery open fire cooking. You must come and see that open fire kitchen that we have. It's just awesome. So it's not a big menu. We try to make it a very, very small menu. So you can really find something traditional, but also true to Lamotte and the quality of Lamotte. Obviously, as I said, farm source ingredients and healthy. So that's where Richard and his team are heading up for us, L'Ami, the family brasserie. Inside, outside, verandas. People must come and see the view also at Lamotte with the beautiful big trees that we have. That's really, really old and beautiful. So please come and visit the brasserie at Lamotte. Family friendly, children mostly welcome as well, please.
And you don't have to book 2 months in advance for that one. That's the good news.
No. That one we open on from Wednesday to Sunday, and that's now for lunches, and then obviously in the evening, Friday and Saturday evenings.
Just for anybody who's come in midway to this conversation, my guest joining us via Zoom is Hein Koegelenberg, who is the CEO of Motte Wine Estate in Franschhoek. As you've heard him describe, it is now so much more than just a wine estate, although it's still producing very high quality wine. But they have really reinvented this as a destination farm that is worth visiting for so many different reasons, including the wonderful food offering. And now let's talk a little bit about the art, because you've done something very special in creating a space called the Atelier. Won't you tell us more?
Yeah, obviously Hanley and Berdien are very arty, and then they came up with the idea of putting a atelier together, and not a museum or a place where you just can buy art, but it must be a creative space where you can engage with artists and also the makers. So it's a space exhibition where you can meet the artists themselves. The first season is themed, shared, that bring great joy, and exhibit paintings, ceramic, textile art and products, and with soon to be introduced a program of workshops and events presented by artists and also the makers. So it's an interactive space that I think we are very, very excited, and I think people can come and experience something really, really unique and new from an experience point of view.
And that experience, by the way, is not only engaging with artists about the work that they're creating, it's having the opportunity to create something yourself. If you want to get yourself into that new workspace, there is going to be the opportunity to come and enjoy a day at Motte creating your own artwork, which you get to take home with you at the end of the day. So if you are something of a closet artist, or you've always wanted to try and experience the feeling of putting paint on canvas, this is your opportunity to do so. The final thing I want to chat about before we say goodbye is to talk about the opportunities to buy things to take away as a memory of your visit to Motte. And there are really two ways to do that. Firstly, you can buy from the farm pantry to go and make up your own picnic. That's at the Spence. But the other thing to tell our listeners about, besides obviously taking away some wine from the tasting area, is that you've got this beautiful newly invigorated farm shop, which is offering all kinds of things. Tell us a little bit more about what one can expect to find there.
Yes, obviously the Spence, as you mentioned, wherever you go now, you can find a deli. But we really want to create a Spence, and that's much more historical products maybe that we will have in there. And it's ongoing to develop now really, really crafted products that will give us a Spence experience that you will also not find at most other places. Then obviously, as you said, the farm shop, and yes, it's a space that's really the brainchild of Berdien Swart. Now that's Hanley's daughter, and she's the owner of Local Edit and founder of the April Studio, and it's one of the projects that they are doing at the moment. And obviously, under the creative direction of Maurice Albertijn, we offer carefully created selection of artisanal made treasures, from hand-woven linen, bespoke kitchenware to pottery sourced local. Each piece reflects the essence of indigenous landscapes, and obviously the Motte's dedication to quality is really, really something that people must come and experience. If you want to buy a gift, this is the space that you must come to.
Okay. Hein, the last thing I want to ask you about, I have to ask carefully. We're not allowed to talk about alcohol and promote wine drinking in my time slot, but I can just give a nod to the fact that you've reinvigorated your tasting room experience. So rather than talk about the wine itself, could you just give us a sense of the feel you have tried to create, that if somebody is going to come and visit your farm and want to undertake a tasting, sort of what kind of feeling are you trying to evoke there?
It's also for us a journey to make it more interactive. At the moment, to just find a wine tasting, you find that any wine place that you go to, but we need to create something really special with La Motte. We've created now an outdoor section from the old tasting center that we had, that you can also just sit under the trees and experience the calmness that you will find at La Motte. And yes, with that is wine, food, and a friendship, and just enjoy yourself. And I think from an experience point of view in the winery, we need to make it much more interactive, from making the wine, the whole process of barrel fermentation, and all of that, till you get the wine in the bottle. So it's a whole process that we are going through, and it's a wonderful journey that I included quite a few people in this process of also redefine the La Motte quality that we have in the bottle, and also the La Motte styles.
Well, we thank you so much for sharing the La Motte story with us today, Hein, and wish you and the team all the best for the year that lies ahead. It sounds like you've given us lots of new reasons to come and visit the farm, so looking forward to popping in on my next trip to Franschhoek. Thanks for chatting to us today.
Thank you very much, Pippa. Keep up.
You too. Hein Koegelenberg, the CEO of Motte Wine Estate, and you'll find them, by the way, on the R45, on your way, on the approach into the town of Franschhoek itself. You past Valdor. If you get to Leopard's Leap, you've gone too far. Those are the two markers I'll give you on either side. But definitely one to add to the visitors list for your next visit to the Franschhoek Valley.
Travel isn't just about destinations. It's about the people you meet, the cultures you immerse yourself in, the stories you carry home. I'm Motte, and on my travel feature, I take you on a journey beyond the guidebook. Each week, I connect with fellow travelers, insiders, and storytellers to bring you the heart of every place, whether it's a hidden gem right here in South Africa or a dream destination abroad. Join me as we travel through conversations, memories, and inspiration. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.